Hey guys, it's Cindy. Recently I've been going a little crazy at the library, so I thought I'd go ahead and share with you guys all the books that I've picked up this month. So I'm going to go ahead and dig right in. The first book is like the only book that I've actually read, and it is Starfish by, hopefully there's not that much of a glare, by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I really love this book. If you do follow me on Goodreads, you would have known that I gave this a 5-star rating, and I absolutely loved it. It does deal with a Asian main character, and she deals with social anxiety, as well as she didn't get into the school of her choice for art. It does say it in the actual synopsis, so it's not like that's a spoiler or anything. So she ends up rekindling a relationship with someone that she was friends with when she was younger and moving away. So she has a horrible mother that keeps putting her down, and I just really connected with the main character, even though I'm not Asian, but I just really connected with her anxiety, as well as just how she felt about herself. So I really love this book. If you haven't checked this out, I highly suggest it. And then the next book is actually one that I'm working my way through right now. I normally don't read nonfiction books, so this is taking me a little bit longer to read. I do really love the story. It is Hunger by Roxane Gay. I heard a couple people talking about this, and it is about her struggle with food, as well as her being raped when she was younger. I really am loving this, but it is taking me a little bit more than normal to get through it because it is nonfiction and it's something that I'm not used to reading. Then the next book is Saints and Misfits by S.K. Alley. This is something that I picked up recently. I actually have to go return this today, but I haven't gotten to it yet, so I hope I can go ahead and renew it. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I think it does have a Middle Eastern main character. I don't know much about it, but I'm really excited to get into it. I've heard a lot of people recommend this book. So the next book is actually one that I haven't heard anything about here on BookTube. It is All the Ways the World Can End by Abby Sher. And what really intrigued me in this book, first of all, was the cover, because I absolutely think it's gorgeous. I love the colorful cover. But then I read a little bit of the synopsis, and I can't really remember what it's about. I read it about a month ago. No, 3 weeks ago when I went to the library. And I do know that it is about a main character named Lenny, and it is dealing with the fact that her father is dying. So I thought it would be really interesting to read. And I haven't heard much about it, so I do want to read it because I want to pick up more books that people aren't always talking about, because I feel like we're constantly suggesting the same things over and over. And this is a new release by E. Lockhart. It is Genuine Fraud. I have not gotten to this yet, but I do know it is a thriller, and I haven't read anything by E. Lockhart, but I heard that her books are really interesting because they usually have unreliable main characters. So I hope this is kind of like that, because I really want to read this, and I've been hearing good things about it. Then the next one is one that I'm super excited for. It is an author that I met about 2 months ago at a book signing for Lee Bardugo. He was also there, and his name is Jason Reynolds. This is his newest release. I haven't read anything from him. This is Long Way Down, and this just came out, I believe, last month, and it is about it takes place in 60 seconds, and it is about getting revenge on on the man that murdered his brother. So I'm really excited to read this. It is all told in prose, so it's not complete pages. So I know this is going to be really easy to fly through. So the next book is one that I'm actually currently reading. I just picked it up last night. It is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I've heard really great things about this book. I've heard it really compared to The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I am currently 10 pages in. I started it last night and then completely fell asleep, but what has happened in the 14 pages that I've read is absolutely heartbreaking. So far it is about a main character named Justice, and Justice was out helping a friend that was drunk, and he was going to go pick her up so that way she wouldn't have to drive drunk. And what a police officer saw was a black young man with a hood on helping a white lady in her car, and what he thought that he was doing was trying to steal the car. So it's all about him dealing with social injustices that are going on. It has to do with Black Lives Matter movements. It has to do with him writing letters to Martin Luther King. So I'm really excited to finish this. It is a shorter book. I thought this was going to be a lot longer, especially because of the topics that it covers. And it actually has written letters to Martin Luther King from Justice. I'm trying to show you guys the first one that he wrote. So it's alternating chapters where each other chapter is a letter to Martin Luther King. So I'm really going to enjoy this book. Then the next book is one that I saw. I was going to meet this author back in September, but I actually didn't. And it's Emily Lloyd Jones, and it is The Hearts We Sold. This has to do with a girl that ends up selling her soul or her heart to a devil or a demon, and it is about two people that end up meeting her and this guy that also sold his heart to the demon, and it's like dealing with the fact that if they could actually love each other even though they both don't technically have hearts. So it sounds really interesting. I've heard a lot of people talk about this book. My little brother and sister are like sitting right there watching me, so this video has been like so many tongue twisters and so awkward because I usually don't film in front of other people. So the next book, I actually have no idea what this book is about, but I've seen it everywhere. It is The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Kletter, and I have no idea what this is about, but I just picked it up on a whim. I'm trying to read more books and then purchase them because I end up buying books that I don't completely love, and I want a library full of books that I personally love, not just books that I read. So the next book is The May Queen Murders. I'm trying to get more into thrillers and like mysteries. This has to do with a main character named Heather, and in her town it is a tradition to celebrate the May Queen, or the May Day, and recently the one that had been crowned May Queen ended up disappearing and being murdered. So now it is her turn and she's running for May Queen, and she also becomes, or she goes missing, and people are looking for her and trying to find out if it is like a killer on the loose that is killing all of the May Queens. It sounds really interesting, and the cover is just absolutely gorgeous. I keep forgetting to put the books like in a way where the glare won't interfere with the video since they are library editions. And then this is a book that I have absolutely no idea what it's about, but I've heard countless amount of people talking about it. It is Little Monsters by Kara Thomas. I've heard really great things about this book. It is a thriller as well, so I'm trying to get more into them. The words on these pages are like huge, so I think this will be a fast read. So the next book is Radio Silence by Alice Osman. This is about a girl that is running her own podcast. It says on the cover here, "Hello, I hope somebody is listening." So I hope it covers a little bit more of deeper topics that are usually like brushed over in YA contemporary. So I'm really excited to read this one, and this is like a thick book. And then the next book is one that I actually have like no idea what it's about, but I've heard many people talking about it and I've seen it absolutely everywhere. I don't know if people are just loving it because of the cover or because the story is good, but it is Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lena Popovic. I'm really excited to read this one. So the next one is Roar by Cara Carmack. I've heard really good things about this. It is about a girl that's able to control storms, so I'm really excited to read this. I know the second one is going to be coming out next year. So the next book is Final Girls by Riley Sager. This is about a group of girls that had been previously attempted to be killed, and now they are one by one being sought after by another murderer. So it has to do with like the first girl, she ends up committing suicide, but no one really believes that's what's happening since they are all victims of previous murders that were going to take place. Two more. So the next one is one that I've heard a lot of people talk about, is Queens of Geek by Jen Wild. I know it has to do with like a convention that goes on. This book is so tiny, so I know it's going to be really fast to read, and I heard it has really good representation for, I believe, a bisexual main character, so I'm really excited to read this one. And then the last book is one that is a recent release. This book is absolutely massive, and I have never read anything from the author. I honestly thought that this was going to be like a comic book. I don't know why I thought it was going to be a comic book. It is Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and this book is so huge. I thought it was going to be like a really short book, but I was obviously mistaken. It is over 500 pages, and I'm actually not sure what this is about, but people have always told me to read her Lunar Chronicles, which I've owned most of, and I actually haven't picked them up yet. So I know that this is going to be a good book because people are like absolutely talking about this all the time. So I'm really excited to read this. This is actually like a group read for the Page Habit. No, it's a YA book club. I'm going to leave it linked down below because I think I mentioned it in the past, and I'm not sure if anybody wants to become a member of it, but I'll leave it linked down below as well. So this is one of the group reads for the month of November. Okay guys, so those are all the books that I picked up this month. I went a little overboard. I've only read a couple of them, so I have a lot of reading to do. Hopefully some of these I will be able to renew them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!